It's good. Okay, hi guys. Hi guys. Maybe we can wait few minutes or few seconds just to start. And apologies honestly from my side. Things didn't go according to how I had planned them. The problem was with this other side of the internet and whatnot. However, I think we managed to sort it, and then we're going to start. And yeah, we shall wait few seconds, then we'll start. I want to talk. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it looks good now. Okay. Right. What's the time? Okay. We shall just wait for a little.
Are we on mute?
Okay.
I wish you had a remote.
I didn't know how to do that.
All right. Yeah.
That's so funny. No, I think we should just start. Okay?
Yeah, we should start.
Yeah. They'll join, and then the good thing is it's able to replay. So yeah, it's fine. Okay, guys. So we're starting right now, and as you can see, I'm not alone at all. I have the lady, the beautiful lady, and the handsome guy from Zambia. And without any further ado, they will introduce themselves. Like, three of us are scholars at the University of Glasgow. I'm currently studying my master's in inclusive education, for those of you who do not know. But today is not about me at all. It's about them, because the African Excellence Award is what is the applications are released, and they will be closed very soon. That is on the 31st of March. And I just wanted to bring them here so they can give us a few tips here and there. So without any further ado, can you guys please introduce yourself? I don't know, ladies first or gentlemen first? I don't know. Who would want to start first?
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Emily. I'm Mainga Simonga. It's my first live YouTube video, so it's really an interesting undertaking. I'm studying international law and security at the University of Glasgow. It's an LLM as opposed to an MSc, and really looking forward to this conversation.
Hi everybody, so thank you Beata for having us here. I am Sandra Munalula, I'm Zambian and I'm an African Excellence Scholar studying my MSc in Economic Development. Just as Mainga, it's my first live stream video here, so I'm excited to help you guys and go through everything that you need to know about these scholarships.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, and it's also my first time like going live. I haven't gone live. I've been shooting other videos, but it hasn't been a live thing. Okay, so we're moving on to the next question, which is, like, can you please take us through the whole application process? Like, how was it for you? Like the whole experience. Like, how was it? Was it too tedious? Was it just too easy for you guys? And yeah.
Well, it was lots of preparation. I think that preparation always meets opportunity. So I had applied for some scholarships in the past, and I think I had built on that experience. So as long as one, I mean, for me, the four principles I worked with were firstly, research the program I wanted to do. Secondly, know what made the program stand out, because other unis were offering something similar to that program. And thirdly, know who the professors were, who the lecturers were, and as the fourth reason, have a reason as to why I'm studying in Glasgow. Yeah.
Well, for me, I also applied for a few scholarships before that, so I built on the experience. So I won't say it was easy because if I hadn't gone through the process of trying to get other scholarships like Chevening or Commonwealth, I wouldn't have known what to do and what they want of me and what they're expecting me to write. So I had built on the experience of writing my essays. So that made it a little bit easier for me at that point. So that was sort of like some preparation. And also I noticed that the University of Glasgow had specific pointers that they needed, and basically I already knew what I was going to write about. Yeah, so it wasn't easy, but it was easy. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I do get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say experience is the biggest teacher, you know, and I really would love to concur with that, like based on you guys' responses. Yeah. And this scholarship seems to be a very competitive scholarship. I never knew about it until I met you guys, and then you one of the scholars, and I've just seen that it just what only 15 scholars are chosen from Africa, which means that it's a very or it's a highly competitive scholarship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like if you can talk about just 15, with us it was 1,100 something scholars out of 67 applicants, out of 67,000 applicants. So with you guys, I might feel that this one is very competitive. Like, what according to you, which are one of those pointers that you'd say when you have done 1, 2, 3, and 4, then you are really good to go, or it kind of like sets a pace for you? Because I feel like one needs to present themselves in a very competitive way, such that people who are choosing the best scholars will not have a tough time in choosing one. Yeah.
Well, for me, when I found out that they were looking for 15 scholars out of the entire Africa, at first I was like, I don't think I'll get this, but let me try. Yeah, so like I said, the experience is the best teacher, and you have to practice and build on your work before you apply for this scholarship, because you're competing with the entire Africa. You're not just competing with people in your country. So for me in Zambia, I'm not competing with people who are just in Zambia and people at the University of Zambia or working here. I'm competing with the entire Africa. So when I found out that, I was like, I might not get it. But I went deeper into researching exactly what they wanted. And the University of Glasgow is mainly about knowing what change you as a person are going to bring. So it's not about you writing everything else that everyone else writes in scholarship applications. You have to be honest about who you are and what personal achievements you've made on your own and what personal change you will make as an individual, not as a group, not as a team, as an individual. So if you speak on those particular points, I think that helps, and it might bring you forward into the interview process and other parts of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think Sandra mentioned something about joining the community of world changers. So people studying at the University of Glasgow, including this Chevening scholar here, were collectively referred to as world changers, because it's really competitive to get into this Russell Group University. So this is, the Russell Group is a group of universities in the United Kingdom that are like research intensive. These the graduates get easily employed and so forth. I mean, we really stand out. So to join this community of world changers, you must at least come to terms with what Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of the United Nations, said. I think he did say something when giving a speech at MIT to say, to live is to choose, but to choose well, one must know who they are, what they stand for, where they want to go, how they will get there, and I think more importantly, why they want to get there. So you must know yourself and the change you want to cause impact on the world. So you must be in a position where you can to successfully get to the interview stage through your your letters of motivation and so forth. You must show how your previous experiences add up to where you are today, and how this masters will connect you to it will give you the bearings that you need to implement the impact that you want to have on society as an individual. So you must really know why you're doing what you're doing. I think that's very important, and you should spend a lot of time trying to figure that out. So if you've applied for some other scholarships, say Chevening, you would know that one way to show that is to demonstrate what you did, give an account of what you did in the past, maybe two experiences, in the sense of you describe it using the STAR method. What was the situation, what was the problem. The T is what task needed to be done. The A, what action did you do? And then the R, talk about something with figures. What was the quantitative result, if possible, of those actions you did? So if you can show that your past experiences have that part about them using the STAR method. If you look up some YouTube videos, there's a lot of people talking about the STAR method as a way to get these scholarships. You need to use that method, and then talk about what you do when you have this qualification and so forth. And then I think you might have it easy to get shortlisted. Yeah, if you can demonstrate that you really know what you want to do with education and so forth.
Yeah, so another thing would also be to research on the particular school that you're going to get into. So if, let's say, you're getting into economics like me, you're going to research about the Adam Smith Business School, and you're going to know why it's called the Adam Smith Business School. You want to know what Adam Smith did, why he's praised, and why this school is so prestigious. Adam Smith is the founder of economics, the father of economics. So you want to show that you know what you're getting into and you know why you're getting into that. You might also want to look at the particular courses in the program that you are about to undertake. You should also talk about how some of these courses supplement your knowledge. Let's say, for example, if you take a course in financial markets in developing countries, you say, okay, this is going to supplement my practical experience. And then if you take courses in something like, okay, policies for sustainability, so you can say, okay, this is going to supplement my theoretical side, and then you link it directly to your personal goals and your life. If you're in employment, you can link it to how that is going to help you in your workspace and how you're going to apply those skills. You can also talk about how this is an opportunity that's going to help you interact with the best scholars, the best professors at the cutting edge of this whole education system. So once you capture all those things, you should be heading towards getting shortlisted for these types of scholarships.
Yeah. Thank you very much for such an insightful thing. And if any of you guys would love to have any question, please post in the comment section, and then I'll come and see if I can be able to read them. And with what you guys have said, I don't have much of experience towards the opportunities around the globe or towards the scholarships, but I can sense some similarities between what you guys have talked about. Like, it's just all about you, not about what you have done as a group, but what is it that's so special about you, and that you would like to say, okay, I want to do 1, 2, and 3. That is something that is obviously not done by somebody else. And that is the same thing for what is this, the Mandela Washington Fellowship. I have also had such kind of experience whereby we are asked in our essays, what is it that you're going to do that's so different from you? Also have been asked the same thing in the interview session. So I feel like some of the scholarships really are about what is it that's so special about you that is not going to be done by this other person, like, and also how are you going to do that, and also even giving yourself the time frame, also maybe working with who, why those people and whatnot. Research in this whole thing of a scholarship is very much pivotal. So if you want to win any scholarship, please take the tips that they're talking about and make sure that you research fully.
Yeah, and just might want to add as well that I mean, I've seen people apply and highlight the financial need as one of the reasons to get a scholarship, and I think that shouldn't even be highlighted in the first place because everyone applying for a scholarship is applying because they don't have the financial resources. So we know that they set up the fund because they want to bridge the gap. So it doesn't make sense that that should be the main reason. I think you need to talk about, demonstrate how unique you are.
Yeah.
So before I got this scholarship, as an example, I was a
But you
rec-
still should say that you don't have that.
you should say, but it should not be the material
Yeah,
reason.
it
So
shouldn't
this
be
is
the
the
main
only,
thing
yeah.
about it.
There has to be something. I mean, I think you have to think in these terms. If you had a million, kwacha, I mean, this is like, if you had 29,000 pounds, that's, uh, if you had $1 million, if somebody had, you had $1 million, I mean, how are you gonna just give this $1 million to somebody who doesn't demonstrate that they deserve to have your $1 million? I think you're going to be very skeptical. You want to know that this person has been consistent, that this person is academically brilliant as well, because
Yeah.
academic brilliance is a big part of these scholarships.
Yeah.
You must be, if you're not part of the 5%, be in the top 15% if possible. If you're in the top 20%, then find a way to justify with the other things that you did, the extracurricular things that made you special.
Yeah.
Bring out these scholarships you got, the awards, to try and supplement that, but show that you're exceptional academically as well.
Yeah, carry all your
Yes.
receipts, your certificates. I carried all my certificates that I've ever acquired since high school, everybody.
Oh, yes.
So carry everything that you need, that you've done, extracurricular activities, things you've attained, like the certificates you've attained in the workplace, certificates you've attained in school, everything. Just show them that this is who I am. And during the interview is the best time to actually show them those things and say, oh, this is what I wrote and these are my certificates.
Don't be shy
Yeah.
about your achievements. Tell them, you won this, you won that, you did this, you did that. List them.
Yeah.
And also just have a clear career plan. That's one of the biggest thing about these scholarships. You have to have a clear career plan, short-term goals, long-term goals, medium-term. I think, Manga, you can explain a little bit more on those.
Of course, yeah.
goals and what.
I recall when I was applying for this, just like the other scholarships, the DLA Piper scholarship. I'm a DLA Piper fellow, by the way. I got a scholarship when I was pursuing my undergraduate studies that funded my undergraduate degree in bioeducation since I'm a lawyer. You need to have a career plan. I mean, if you've done chevening, you know what I'm talking about. Talk about what you do in the short term. The short term could be a period of 1 to 2 years, like immediate plans after you return from the United Kingdom. Then talk about what you do in the next, 3 to 7 years or 3 to 5 years, could be like the medium term. Then talk about what you're going to do in the long term. And in as much as possible, with these scholarships, I think they tend to look more kindly on people with short, medium and long-term plans that correlate with impact in your home country.
Yeah.
Don't talk about a plan to immigrate to the UK. Don't
As everyone go.
Even if that's where you go, do not talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about something concrete. There's something in your country, in an African country. If you come from an African country, obviously, there's something you can do in the Ministry of Home Affairs, social. There could be something, justice, NGO work.
Yeah,
you could do
as
something.
short term,
home.
you could even just say, when I get back, I'm trying to get a promotion in the workplace,
Yes.
or join this organization as soon as I get back and get
Yeah.
this opportunity.
You could say
stuff like
the
that.
people in the department, none of them received thorough training
Yeah.
from a Russell Group University or indeed an Ivy League. I'll be the only one with the expertise in climate finance, and my country really needs this to adapt. This is a real issue. We have
Yeah.
COP27, COP28, and COP29. They'll need me there to provide the technical. Don't say,
Yeah, that will actually make you stand out and just say,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be one of the
Yeah.
most qualified policy makers in Zambia or young
Yes.
lawyers in Zambia because I studied at a world-class university.
Yes.
So I really want to make that impact in my country.
Yeah.
In my country.
It should never be London, so you can have
Yeah,
real estate.
so you can't
No.
say I want to get a job at BBC.
Yeah.
So
This is about empowering you so you can be a change maker, a wild change, especially in your community or Southern Africa or Western Africa, but it has to be a region
Yeah.
and not here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. I think I saw a question in the chat box, so I don't know because I'm using the phone, so maybe Saturday please use yours on my English.
Sure.
Yeah. And then maybe log into the channel, then try to
course.
read the question. Yeah, but maybe when Sandra's still checking, we can still do continue other things. If you guys do have some questions, okay, maybe I didn't see well, but I think I did see it.
yeah, I saw it. It popped up.
Yeah.
I also saw the question pop up.
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't know how to do that. However,
Okay.
it's fine. It's fine. Let me. Can I press it? Maybe I need to go and.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me check. Okay. Well.
What's the question?
No, I don't see any question.
Okay.
But I think I saw it. I don't know.
Yeah, we saw
But
some
it's okay.
questions.
It's
Or maybe
yeah.
we should log in here as well.
Okay. Well, I think if there's some questions, perhaps we could get back to them after this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we can
promise
do
to just dedicate our resources to answering your
to it.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then maybe when we continue to the other question would be, would you say that this award has really done something positive in your lives?
Absolutely.
And if yes, what is that positive thing?
Oh, should I go
Well,
first? Or you should. Yeah.
Well, don't mind us laughing because we just had a little funny chat about this before our session. But yeah, so this award, I would say, has given me a lot of confidence. I was selected out of over how many applications? Over 2,000 applications, and I'm one of the 15. And I think Zambia is just the two of us, right?
Yeah, well, the two from
Wow.
Zambia. Yes.
Yeah, so like that gives me a lot of confidence. I'm probably going to compete for a PhD scholarship
Oh,
soon.
yes.
So that changes the way I look at things. I would be the type of person who would say, I don't think I can get this. They just want 15. I don't
Yeah.
think I can get this. Let me just try, but negative energy the whole time. I don't do that anymore. I just tell myself I'm gonna do it. If I got this scholarship, I can get anything I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something it's done for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's ending the University of. I don't think anyone got the University of Glasgow African Excellence scholarship without really earning it. It's something that you have to earn, and you earn it by demonstrating this in the interview, in the motivation, in your application. I think it's really a merit-based, award that not only takes care of your tuition fees, but gives you such a confidence boost and a subsequent access to education, which gives you then the bearings to navigate through your professional work world, and you can really be an agent of change because you're not just studying here as the others, but if you have this African Excellence Scholarship, you have this in you to say, I'm an African Excellence Scholar, I'm one of the 15 from over 2,000 highly qualified, some were the best, most of them were the top 10%, top 5% of their classes, so their universities, talk about Cape Town, talk about University of Zambia, talk about Makerere, and to be among the 15 from Africa is really as much a privilege as being one of the 12 disciples that Jesus had.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Oh yes, so it's
Thank
really
you very
good.
much. Yeah. Okay. So the question reads as follows: was planning to apply okay, maybe she was saying she was planning to apply, but I realized I would have to pay for accommodation and living expenses.
Oh yes.
How did you guys manage to pay for yourselves?
Well, it's a very interesting question, and I think it's a very fundamental question because we needed to address that. This is only a tuition fee waiver, of course, and that's a lot of assistance in itself. Because even for the people who live in the United Kingdom, the tuition fees are just too much for postgraduate studies. Yes, but then it does leave you vulnerable to the local pressures of accommodation and living expenses, and you need about 1,200 thereabout pounds per month for your rent and other living costs. So you need to have a plan, and I mean, if you do get this award, there's a chance you could, you just need to have a backup plan. I think you'll be asked when you get this award, or when they think you will deserve it, they will ask you about how you would take care of the other expenses. So one of the ways to do that is by getting a part-time job. If you really present yourself well, you could get a part-time job. I do have one at the moment. You could apply for some supplementary scholarships, not from the University of Glasgow, maybe Santander and so forth. But at the same time, you could convince people in your network. If you do have people you could convince to help you out financially, and you pay them back when you start working, since the living expenses are not so much as much a cost as the tuition fees. What do you think, Sandra?
Well, I agree with everything Manga said. So, as you're applying, you have to actually just demonstrate and make it look like you actually have the money and you have someone to sponsor you, be it your government or.
Oh yes, the government.
Yeah, so if you have a job, you can apply to your government to sponsor you just for your living costs. And you can, people in your network, as he said, people in your network, and just come up with a solid plan. Even if that's not going to be your plan, come up with a solid plan to demonstrate that I am going to manage to pay. And even if you don't have those finances, when you get here, you can now look for your part-time job, and then you can find ways of paying off your accommodation costs, because the cost of living is really high. It's quite
It's
high.
soaring, and I think that by the time you guys come through, the rent, I was just looking, rent
Yeah.
has been revised
Yeah.
across university accommodation, and it's now hiked up by I think
Yeah.
£100 or so.
But when you do get here, if you are active in your applications, you're definitely going to get that part-time job, and
Yeah.
you can manage to take care of yourself. Just
Yeah.
demonstrate that you will manage to take care of yourself using other sources. Yeah, and the university also has something called a hardship fund. So as time goes on, if your plans didn't turn out the way you expected, you can always apply into the university hardship fund. They won't cover everything, but they'll help you
Absolutely.
through your financial needs, just in case you need
Yeah,
help.
they will help you with all the money you need for your monthly costs other than
Yeah.
accommodation. Because,
Yeah, so they'll take care of, like, if you need to buy your food, your clothing, stuff like that. And then as long as your part-time job covers your
your
Rentals?
rent, which is the biggest
You're
expense in the UK, is your rent. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, your rent will take up the biggest.
So I wouldn't look at the fact that I don't have living costs as a big issue. Just get into the University of Glasgow. That's a big thing in its own. Like, I'm studying in Adam Smith Business School. I would have never dreamt of that. Like, I would have never thought I would end up in there, because now that makes me stand out.
Oh yes, this
For
is
my
where
futures.
economics started.
Yeah, the founders, you know.
Yes.
So you look at the bigger picture, and not like, oh, I want to afford to pay for my accommodation. You will make it as long as you're determined. You will make it once you get here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. I really concur with what they're saying. Like, I think you also shouldn't worry that much, because part-time jobs in UK are not a struggle at all. Like, and also the postgraduate classes are kind of flexible most of the
flexible.
time. Yeah. So you can still be able to work and then study. at the
Yeah,
same
I have a
time.
part-time job too, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Like all of us.
We
We
all
all
have
have part-time jobs,
fantastic.
so
yeah, let us close
you'll
your
be
point,
fine.
you know, and yeah,
Yeah, that is it. Okay, one of the things that I was going to add maybe on the previous question, which was, would you say it has done something good to you? And I feel like if maybe you are competing for a job, maybe let me say anywhere else, and then when you just start stating that you are one of the scholars picked out of numerous
It's a big
applicants,
opportunity.
that's a big opportunity on its own. And also if you say that because University of Glasgow is one of the top 100 universities in the entire world,
Wow.
then that on its own also stands out, because it's kind of like, okay, so this person is a real good person. If she or he was able to be accepted or given admission in a big university like University of Glasgow, then it means that this person is really good, like he or she knows his or her stuff. So yeah, I would just like to add on that. Yeah. And then maybe moving on to the other question is, what is your personal experience like of being a student at University of Glasgow? Would you say University of Glasgow is kind of like good to study, especially as an African, especially as an international student? Or would you say, I know, sorry, it's not? Like, what are your views about that?
Well, I think it's a really nice place to experience the United Kingdom as a black person or as a person of color from Africa. The Scottish are some of the most friendly people. So the University of Glasgow is based in Scotland, and the Scottish are the majority here. So they're very friendly people, some of the funniest people in the world. You could be walking in Buchanan Street, one of the main streets here, taking a selfie, and some Scottish person just comes in your picture
Right behind
and
you.
smiles. Yeah.
That happens all the time.
It happens every time you take a picture in public.
Yeah.
So very good people. Well, they're known for lots of wonderful things, including the drinking. But I think they are very kind-hearted, welcoming people, and you won't experience the stereotypical discrimination and so forth. If anything, they're more helpful than any negative connotation you find on the internet. So yeah, it's really been smooth for me. It also depends, perhaps, with any social, any question of whether or not you have an ease of settling in a society also depends on your personality. If you're an introvert, rest assured, you will probably be in your closed space. But if you can try to reach out to a few people, you will make friends. I recall my birthday, I had people from
So many
17
Yeah, mine is
nationalities.
And
And I'm the school rep, by the way. They elected me unanimously to be the postgraduate school rep in the School of Law. So I have no problem getting around people here or making friends. So I don't think there's any issue. It just really depends on the personality, and that's what's out there.
yeah, it's actually basically been nice to know different cultures, integrate with a different network, especially these Chevening scholars. We're always having this battle of Chevening versus African excellence. Like it's
African
fun.
excellence.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a very interesting journey so far, learning different things, people coming from different backgrounds. My guy's always dragging me to places like, oh, there's this going on, let's go, because he's so good at making friends. Better than some of us.
Yeah, better than the two of us.
Yeah.
No, but actually, I was introduced to her friends in Edinburgh. I mean, they're now my friends. The Chevening
Exactly.
scholars who later became my friends, even in London.
Yeah. So being a scholar here is actually a very good thing, because another thing is it's going to expose you to events where you're going to network with people you never thought you would have ever met
people.
before.
Yeah, brilliant
So
people.
it's amazing.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and there's this other time when I attended this other event at Butte Hall, still at the University of Glasgow. So it was an honorary doctorate event whereby the secretary of WHO was there, and I was like, oh my god. So when I didn't know him at first, when I just heard that he's from Africa, I was like, no, he's being honored like the
Oh,
events of
you
Glasgow.
mean Dr. Tedros?
Oh yeah, Dr. Tedros, yeah,
Yeah,
Dr.
okay.
Dr. Tedros,
Really
yeah.
good man.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I need to visit this just because I just wanted to see like how is this whole honorary doctorate thing done, you know. It exposed me to such kind of things and I was like, no, this is really good. And within a blink of an eye, guys, there was a lot of people in that room, okay? And I had to be smart. Only 4 people were given chance to ask questions, and I was one of those 4 people. I was the third person, and then after the person after me they were like, no guys, it's enough because it has been a long day for you. So I was like, no, if such kind of events are here, like it means that they are kind of like developing me personally, emotionally, physically, and also financially. Yeah, so like there's a lot really happening. And also there was this other event that was organized. When I'm saying this, I know I'm a Shivna, but they are also my sisters and brothers from the award, whereby in most events you find that we do join together. There was this other one in Edinburgh, and then we did meet other prominent people in Scotland who are still friendly, like they're also saying like it's really good and please stop worrying about anything. I know when I was back home they were like, when you get to Scotland, you're gonna hear different types of English accents, whatnot. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not ready for that. But when I got here, I feel like yes, I'm still kind of shocked by the Scottish accent.
Yeah.
But it's not that much as I thought. Maybe it's because I had set the pace way too high. But I don't experience that shock a lot. And also with the professors and the lecturers, they are very good. They are very slow in speaking, such that we all understand, because we come from diverse groups like Asians, Africans, whatnot.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's so enjoyable, super enjoyable.
Yeah, life in Glasgow is actually good. There's lots of things to do. You don't need to spend much money to go to, the River Clyde, the banks of the river. There's some museums you could just walk into. And I mean, I think all museums in the United Kingdom must be free, to the best of my knowledge.
The ones I've been to.
Yeah, me too. Including the ones in London and the ones here in Glasgow. So yeah. So I think that there's lots you can do. Lots of it's safe breathing air as well. It's a really nice place for life. You have occasional flu once in a while, but that's just it. Yeah. Oh yeah, she has a flu.
Oh, this is why I was like,
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other question would be, what is this? Let me see. Okay. Like, which is that one thing or other things that you'd be like, had I known this thing prior, I would have done it this way instead of doing it this way. Like when it came to applying for this award, like what is that thing that you're like, I wish I knew better, I would have done better? If there's anything like that.
Well, for me, in my experience applying for this scholarship, I won't say I would have changed much, but at the interview stage, I wish I didn't waste so much time reading these useless scholarship questions that were really unnecessary, because all they want to know is how, like we said, it's a main thing in the University of Glasgow. Is it the mission or the slogan? What is it? The world changes thing?
How you contribute to the world.
Yeah, so that's their main thing. That's specifically for University of Glasgow. So that's the main thing that they want. They want to know what you will do, what you did. It's basically just you. They don't want to know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what is, those typical scholarship questions.
Yeah.
It's really not stuff you should really waste time on. Just work on the things the change you will make. If you actually have a clear plan on what change you intend to make, for example, say, this is not going to be an example related to the course or anything, but it's an example. Say you want to build a school. Just tell them, okay, when I get back, the change I want to make in my community is I want to build a school and I want to put this in place. I want to target this group of people. I want to do this. I remember that's the question they really nailed me on, because I was trying to answer it and then they kept drilling me on it, like, but what will make it different? But what will change this and that? So you need to focus on that particular point and not things like what are your weaknesses, where were you born? No, not that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also one of the mistake. I don't think I would have done anything differently, by the way. But I think that I did also emphasize on what I was going to do as a world changer. In the sense, really, world changer means what are you doing now, or what are you gonna do up with this education afterwards to change the world. The world seems like a very big word to change your country, to change your community, like something unique, something that would be, have meaningful impact on the ground. But I think that one of the mistakes people that do not get scholarships make when they're trying to tell people who are experiencing them within only 30 minutes of meeting them for the first time is to try and talk about 5 insane things that you want to do. If you can talk about one thing
It's okay.
and talk about that one thing
In
in the
detail.
short term, long
In
term,
detail.
that sells
That's
more than you want to have this and that and this. You sound like you're not gonna convince somebody who doesn't know you and that you're going to do those 5 things, but you're
Yeah.
likely going to convince them that you're going to do this one thing. So
Yeah.
think about one thing. And that's my challenge to you. Think about one thing that you're going to do in the short term, long term, and medium term. I think that will work out best for any scholarship and not just this one.
Yeah. Okay. And we're about to end the session right now. So if you still have any other questions, please do type them in the box and then we'll look at them. And if you have questions not just related to the African Excellence Award, but also for the Shivni, because I know some of the people are heading towards their interviews in this coming weeks. So maybe if you're one of them, you can just try to post the question there. And then the last question would be: would you have any kind of advices for the applicants? Maybe advice that we haven't discussed prior, or any other last words that you guys would love to say?
I think you can go
Okay,
first.
all right, nice, thank you. Well, yes, so I think I'll always emphasize when you're going to, so look up the STAR method. It always works for scholarships. It worked for my scholarship with DLA Piper some 4 years ago. It worked with Chevening, got me to the shortlist, didn't get the award. It also worked with the University of Glasgow. So use the STAR method, situation, task, analysis, and result. Look it up on the internet for more context. That always works to describe your experiences, because then it's more quantitative and people work well with numbers. Then secondly, make sure you keep time, be cognizant of the timelines. Don't submit your email late and say that you had load shedding already. That's not gonna work. Thirdly, do some research. Glasgow is called the UNESCO, I think, one world city of music of some sort. It's known for a thing or two, the quality of life. On the internet, it used to say it has one of the lowest cost of living for international students, but when it got here, it was a shock. But no, this is like the most expensive
Yeah, I
place.
agree with that.
Especially this one.
I don't know who they consulted, who they do the research with, but it's quite expensive to live here. Yeah, so know those facts, but I think also demonstrate that you know the modules. So talk about the modules you take, especially the core modules for your course, who the professors are. Not saying you should lie, but look them up. Like the professor, what did I experienced a webinar with her or him, so things like that, to show that you really are interested in these courses, and you could even link them to your undergraduate studies.
And the interest in the university.
In the
general.
university itself as well.
So you can talk about the history of the university,
yes.
Events that have taken place that have really captured your attention and you want to be a part of those things. So that's like just on top of knowing your modules and your courses and what you need to know. And also don't just Google something, carry the whole passage and put it in your essay. That's typical of everything that everyone else will write. So you need to generate your own essay. Think of your own ideas. I think even if it's someone else's idea, when you write it yourself, it's going to come out differently. So if you just copy and paste, then you're going down the hill. Like, you need to write your own essays and don't try to write what someone else wrote.
Oh yes, so yeah, I mean, best wishes to these people. That anyone contemplating going for this. This place has a lot of Nobel Prize winners, by the way, not just in the sciences, but also in economics and so forth. So it's really the place to be if you want to change the world or change your country or your region in Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
guys.
oh, sorry, just one more thing. Another thing that the university will put you out there for is they will actually send you job alerts for what to consider after finishing school, and that's specific to University of Glasgow students. They're not going to everybody else, so they will actually help you with your career. We have career planning workshops, we have a lot of coaching going on in the university, so they really set you up for your future, and they take care of you during the whole process, so you won't be lost once you're done with your program and you're like, what do I do now? No, that's not going to happen to you. So applications are still open until 31st. Don't think these few days are too little to do much. You can start today and still submit a good application by the 31st. If you have any questions, you can always try to reach out to us, and we can help you through, if we can, on the particular questions that you have. But get that application going. The essays are not too many. It's not as crazy as a Commonwealth essay. And shivering essays. This one, you can get your point across quick, neat, and you get your scholarship or get to the interview stage at least.
Absolutely.
Okay, and don't forget to pray. If you are a prayer, if you're somebody who believes in praying, don't forget to pray, because there's a lot that can happen within a blink of an eye. There's a lot that can change within a blink of an eye. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we really apologize, especially myself, for starting late. But I'll do better next time, and maybe it'll be the next live. I don't know when, but yeah, I'll announce. Thank you very much for watching, and we wish you all the best. So yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.